Hey, what are you doing here? Nobody told you that you could come be in the video. Not yet. Well, hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Lily, and if you're new here, which you should be because this is my first video on the channel, I am doing the Disney College Program Fall Semester 2022, and I actually leave on July 25th, so I think there's 49 days and counting as of filming this video. It's getting really real, guys. And so I thought, if I'm gonna bring people along on my many adventures with the DCP, I should probably make a YouTube channel to get that done. And so now here I am. And I figured the best way to kind of get to know me to start off is to do a DCP tag video. Like, if you're gonna be watching my vlogs and going along with me on my adventure, you should probably know a little bit of backstory about me and kind of, the way I function and what I want to get done, what I want to accomplish on the program. So yeah, I really appreciate if you clicked on this video, and I hope you stick along with me as I get into my DCP tag. Without further ado, let's get into question number 1. I actually heard about the program back in 2014 when I was 10, 11 years old. I was staying at Pop Century at a Disney vacation with my family, and I was in the Pop Century cafeteria line. I was getting my breakfast for that morning before heading off to the parks. And the woman that was checking me out at the cafeteria had a college on her name tag, and I hadn't seen that before, so I was like, why do you have a college on your name tag and not your hometown? And she was like, oh, I'm part of the Disney College Program and I'm getting college credit for this, da 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 da. And I was like, oh my God. I remember turning to my mom and being like, I can come to Disney and work for Disney for college credit. And I remember talking about it with my family for the whole breakfast. And then as soon as I got home from the trip that summer, I was dedicated into the research. I was watching all the YouTube videos, reading all the articles. I was looking up tips for how to do good on your phone interview before I was even in high school. I was into it, guys. And I knew that someday I'm gonna go to college and I'm gonna do the college program. And I told all of my friends about it growing up. And now here I am, 8 years later, I'm 19 years old almost, and I'm going to Disney and I'm doing the Disney College Program. So that's just proof that if you want something, just do it. I'm living proof that you can dream of something for 8 years and then you're here and it's happening. And that's crazy to me. Now, there's not really an interview process anymore. There's no phone interview like there used to be. It's kind of just you apply and then you get the web-based interview and you do the web-based interview, and based off that, that's how you get in. But for me, my application process was kind of crazy because I applied for the spring semester of 2022 and I never heard back. And it was really embarrassing for me because I got so excited and got all of my friends involved and all of my family involved. And I was the person who checked the dashboard every day, and I never got my WBI. And looking back now, I can see it's because I was so excited and so in a rush to fill out my application that I didn't even really take the time to make sure that my resume looked good, that it was stacked with volunteer experience. I just put my 2 job experiences down and I called it a day. I sent it in. And that was really a mistake on my part. If you're watching this and you're looking to apply for the future, definitely make sure that you put everything that you do down on your resume. This time around, I was really disheartened that I didn't get in the first time. And so I didn't even think I was going to apply for the fall semester. And then one day I was really bored and I was sitting there. It was February 10th. I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go in and edit my resume and I'm going to apply again. I'm going to do it again, and I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to look at it every day. I'm just going to forget about it. And then if I hear something, that's great. And so I went in and I applied, and I didn't tell anybody this time. The first time I got everybody involved, and this time I said, I'm not going to say anything so that when I don't hear back, it's not embarrassing and I don't have to explain it to a bunch of people. And then 7 days later, on February 17th, I got the email that I had passed and I had gone to my WBI. I was like, oh my God, it's happening. I did it. I got to the next stage, which was crazy because I had never gotten there before. And so then finally I was like, oh my God, I have to tell my mom now. I have to tell somebody so that it's not just me, because I was so nervous for my WBI, and it said make sure you read the questions aloud with somebody. And I was like, okay, it's gonna be my mom. So I sat her down and I was like, so I did a thing. And she was like, oh my God, what did you do? She was worried. And then I told her that I applied and I got to the next stage, and it was like the happiest day of her life. If there's anybody who's a bigger Disney fan than me, it's my mother. Like, you would not even believe. So she was so happy when she found out. And she helped me do the WBI the next day. And when I clicked, I was a strong candidate. And I lost my mind. So what the Facebook groups told me after that was that if you get strong candidate, you're basically in. Like, that's it. Like, that's the highest thing that you can get on the WBI. And since there's no phone interview process now, like, that's just what they have to go off of. And so that was a crazy day for me. And my application experience was about a week's long process, which I've heard from some people that it took a lot longer or a lot shorter. So don't use my experience as kind of like your basis, because for you, it could be a completely unique experience. And of course, I'm filming this video as of 2022. So if you're watching this in the future and they've brought the phone interviews back, definitely disregard everything I just said, because you'll have to do more. But as of right now, it's just the WBI and then you're home free. For me, I was actually sitting right here in this exact spot when I found out. It was February 28th. It was exactly 10 days after I took my WBI. And I was sitting here, and I knew it was a wave in the morning, and my mom knew it was a wave in the morning. She was sitting right next to me working from home. I was working on homework. We were both trying really hard not to like check and refresh every social media we had. I was like compulsively looking at my Gmail, and I was like, you know what? No. I don't think it's my week this week. I think that I'm going to need to wait more, because some people waited months. And I was like, it's only been 10 days. There's only been one other wave before this one. And I don't think it's my time. I think that I have to wait more for this. So I put my phone down and I started working on my homework for my English class. And then like 20 minutes later, I glanced down at my phone and I saw a Gmail notification. But I didn't have it unlocked, so I had to like put it up to my face. And when I did, the first word that I saw was congrats and then Disney. And I dropped everything and just like stood up and like flew up and was like, I got in. Oh my God, I got in. And my mom like threw her work laptop down instead of, we were like jumping around the living room freaking out. And then we were like, oh my God, nobody else in the family knows. Like, we are the only ones with this information right now. We have to do something. And so we called my cousin and we were like, we're going to have an emergency family meeting today, like after work. Everybody needs to be there. We have a big announcement. And like, okay, we thought that we had been pretty slick about this whole thing. Like, we didn't even bring it up. Like, we're big Disney people. We talk about Disney all the time. We had trips planned at that point. We did not talk about Disney at all. We didn't bring up the college program. The only person who even asked me about the college program between the time I applied and the time that I got accepted was my hairdresser. She was like, hey, remember when you applied for the college program back in spring? Whatever happened with that? And I was like, oh, like, I didn't get in. I'm so sad. I'm not going to apply for it this time. Like, I even lied to my hairdresser, because I was like, what are the odds that like nobody else would ask me about it, but she would ask me about it? So going into this whole surprise party thing, we thought that we were really slick about it. But by the time I got there and I told everybody, like, they had already been anticipating it. Because I didn't really tell them anything after I didn't get in the first time. They kind of just assumed that, you know, I didn't get in and I was sad about it, so they didn't want to bring it up. But then this time around, they like knew the fall applications were opening up, and they were like, oh, I wonder if Lily applied. Like, we should ask and see, but then they never did. And so when I said, you know, I have a big announcement to make, they all automatically assumed that it was me getting into the Disney college program, and there really wasn't much of a surprise. It was more of a surprise to me than them, because like, even like the family friends we hardly talk to that are Disney fans that we called were like, oh my God, I had a feeling that you were going to get into the Disney college program this semester. Like, I had such a good feeling about it, and like, then you called me today. The surprise was on me in that case scenario. But I'm so happy that I got in, and my family is helping me move down, and we're all so happy. And so I really couldn't have found out in a better way. For me, I'm a July 25th arrival, and so as of filming it today on June 6th, I do not even have my general or like tentative role. But if Disney is following their, you know, once a week schedule, the next group to find out is going to be the July 11th group. And then on Wednesday, June 15th, my 725 group should be finding out their roles. So I'm definitely going to make like a role reveal video and probably ask my family members like what roles they think I'm going to get to put in the video, just so you guys like have that little experience. But for right now, I don't really have any idea what my role is going to be. I guess if I had to really take a good guess, it would probably be something in food service. Most of my work experience has been working in an ice cream parlor, and while I didn't like that particular ice cream parlor, I did kind of like being a cashier and like talking to people and like memorizing the flavors and the menu. So I could really see myself working like maybe on Main Street somewhere in food service, or like working at the plaza, or working at Casey's, or even like, oh my god, it'd be so cool to work at like Aloha Isle and do the Dole Whips, and like just something ice cream related would be so fun. My dream, like if there's one role that's like so unrealistic, that's like my dream location, my dream role, it would be a Jungle Cruise skipper. And I know that I feel like everybody says that, but I did speech team and theater and all of that in high school, and I loved it. And I would kind of say that I was good at it, like no flex. But I think that like if Disney looked at my resume and my experience and all that, they would be like, oh, she's a good public speaker. She has personality. She could do this role. And I'm like, Disney, put me there. Put me in, coach. I can do it. I can get it done. And so yeah, like that's my dream, like number one top location. But like, here's me officially saying like dream role, putting it into the universe. If I'm meant to be a Jungle Cruise skipper, put me in. So right now we don't have a choice about how many roommates we're gonna get. It's gonna be 4 people to an apartment. And right now, as of June 2022, you only get to pair with 1 roommate in the system and like link with them. And even then after you link, it's not guaranteed that you're actually gonna be placed with them. Disney kind of just says, we're gonna do our best. So you have to go in realistically knowing that even if you pair with somebody, you might not get them, which is really terrifying because I am linked with a roommate. Hi, Lydia. Love you. But yeah, I found a Lydia 2 days after I did my WBI. I started scouring the Facebook groups looking for people with my same interests, because at that point I hadn't been accepted, so dates didn't matter at all. And I didn't end up finding anybody on the Facebook groups that I really meshed with, which was unfortunate because I feel like that was the one place that everybody always told me to look. But then a couple of days later, I was scrolling through and I found a link to a Discord group. And there's like one big Disney College Program Discord that everybody is in, like all the full-time, part-time people, all of the alumni, everybody and their brothers in that group. But this one was like a smaller group of people for fall semester. And I was like, oh, okay, like I can jive with a smaller group. I found a Lydia in there, and I found out after talking to her for a little bit that we had a lot of the same interests in like music and TV and Disney and video gaming. And so we talked for a long time about like video gaming and not really like life stuff. And she doesn't even know this, but I was terrified to actually officially ask her to be my roommate. Like after a couple days of talking, I had no idea how to like shift the conversation from like Stardew Valley to, do you want to link with me in the system and be my roommate for 6 months? Like it was terrifying to me. I don't even remember what gave me the courage to do it, but eventually one day I was just like, hey, so do you want to like make it official? And thank God she said yes. Like I was so scared. I was like, I really want to be roomies with her. So if she says no, like I don't know what I'm gonna do. Thank God she said yes. I'm so glad we're going on this journey together. I'm really excited. Fingers crossed for me and Lydia that we're gonna get together in the same room. There's a lot of things that I'm gonna miss. I'm still fairly young. I've never not lived in my family home before, and so I think being away from Illinois and being away from my family is going to probably be the hardest thing for me, because it's so easy to kind of just like drive on down and be like, hey, what are we doing today? And like have people have a support system built in where you're living. And now I know I'm still going to have their support when I go off when I'm in Florida, but it's just different not having them close. And so I feel like I'm really going to miss my parents, and I'm really going to miss my cousins and my aunts, and it's going to be hard to be away from them for a long time. The reality of that kind of hasn't set in yet, and we're actually doing a family vacation a week before my check-in to kind of like have a last hurrah together in the parks, because I haven't been since 2019. We have not seen any of the new rides, any of the new lands, like none of that. So it's going to be kind of fun to get to be with them for one last time. And I also really need them for their suitcase space because I'm flying down and it's going to be hard fitting everything that I have. But don't tell them I said that. Also my friends. I have a really like tight-knit group of friends right now. From high school, we all kind of transferred over to the same community college, and we just completed our first year of college together. And so now our different paths are kind of, diverging, or we're kind of going off and, doing our own things, and I'm leaving them here behind, and I feel like scared. Because it's like, I know I'm going to have a Lydia, but what if I don't make any other friends? Like, what if I'm lonely? What if, like, all these thoughts come into your head, you know? I'm leaving everything that I've ever known in my life behind here and moving to a completely different state, which is crazy. But I think it's going to be a good experience for me, even if I miss them a lot. Also, there's one person that I'm really gonna miss, like really gonna miss, but it's probably easier if I just show you rather than tell you, so give me 1 minute. This is Winnie. She's definitely the person that I'm going to miss most. I got her in March, like right after I got into the college program, and so I knew that I was gonna have to leave her behind with family when I left. But I think she's gonna be okay, because she has a lot of people here that love her and pet her and give her treats, and so I feel okay leaving her behind, even if I'm going to miss her the most out of anybody. You're so sleepy. Honestly, I'm an Epcot girl through and through, all the way. And that's big for me because I have not even been to Remy's. Remy is like one of my favorite characters. I haven't been since 2019, so I haven't even been to Remy's. I've seen all about Cosmic Rewind, but I haven't been to Cosmic Rewind yet. So I'm saying that Epcot has been my OG since the start, like since any of that new stuff came in. I'm talking Spaceship Earth, I'm talking Figment, I'm talking the land and living with the land. Like, I am an Epcot purist at heart. So I'm very excited to be on my program and go back to Epcot and see all the new stuff. And I feel like a lot of people always focus on Epcot being like, you know, World Showcase and drinking around the world. Girl, I'm not 21 on my program, but you know that I'm going to be eating around the world. There are so many snacks that are so good in Epcot. I'm so excited, guys. Epcot, I think, is still going to be my favorite park by the end of this experience. My roommates don't know this yet, not even Lydia knows this yet, but I have already made us a Beaches and Cream reservation for the day after move-in for all 4 of us. Even if they're like, you know, people that are already living there, I'm still gonna try and see if they want to come with us, because I've heard and I've seen that eating in the kitchen sink at Beaches and Cream is a DCP rite of passage. And so when I was able to tack that reservation on to the end of my family vacation, I was like, let me make it, because they don't know it yet, but we're going to Beaches and Cream and we're having that kitchen sink. So yeah, we'll see what ends up happening, but I'm definitely going to stick to that Beaches and Cream reservation, and hopefully I'll find some people to tag along with me if my roommates don't. To ask me for number 1 is like really a tall order, honestly. I'm planning on making a whole bucket list video, but right now, here on the spot, if I had to answer what my number 1 is on my bucket list, it would honestly probably be going on to dorms and winning one of those like backstage attraction tours. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but according to my friend who was already on the college program last year, dorms does these giveaways for these events where you can like, you have to log in and like really quickly be the first one to sign up for it as soon as it drops. And I don't think they really tell you when it drops, but you go on there and you can win a backstage tour of some attractions. Like, I think I saw Carolyn in Fantasyland. She got one of Tower of Terror where they were allowed to like walk in the whole area with the big eye and everything and like see all the little Easter eggs and like take pictures behind the desk and stuff in the lobby. And I think that would be such a cool thing to experience. I know they give one away for Haunted Mansion where you can go walk around the ballroom down there. And it's like honestly number 1 on my list. But also, look out for a full bucket list video coming soon because I have a lot of ideas. I've had 8 years to plan out all of my ideas. And I feel like my one thing is kind of cheating because it's more of like an idea. For me, my one thing that I want to take away from this program is a heightened sense of responsibility. I'm only 19 years old. I've never lived anywhere besides my family home. I've been going to community college for the last year. I've never had any life experience before, guys. I need to go off and like learn how to do my own stuff and like, you know, just learn how to be a human being, like separate from my family and my friends. I think the DCP is going to offer me a really good experience to kind of just like go off and be my own person and, you know, like work full time. I've never worked full time before. I'm going to go off and work full time. I'm going to take this semester off and I'm going to go and I'm just going to learn how to be a functioning adult. And also having fun. Because if I don't have fun, you know, it's a waste of a trip. I want to have fun. I want to work hard. I want to make magic for people. I want to have fun and I want to be an adult. And I think that I'm going to be able to accomplish all of those things, hopefully. And hopefully you guys are here with me on that journey. because I would love to share with you guys my experience. And if you're someone like me who is sitting there now, you're not even in high school yet, or maybe you're in your first years of high school, and you're like, I want to do the Disney College Program. I want to get it done. I want to go and live the magic and be there and have the experiences. Then you keep sticking with it, because one day you will be able to apply, and you will apply and you'll get in and you'll do it, and you'll have the time of your life, just like I'm about to go have the time of my life. So I hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your day, and hopefully I see you guys out there in Florida sometime. Lily out.